We're going to go ahead and start. So I got a request from Erica last week to work on some inversions. And oh, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out as we go along. Yes, so Roberta said you should have come in person, Erica, so she could beat you up if we don't like it. And she's just laughing over there. Okay, so we're going to see how that goes. As I was playing with it this week, there was something that became really interesting to me. Often we like doing inversions because we like having our hearts above our head, mostly because we spend most of our time like this, and our heads lead us through a whole sort of things in life, and sometimes it's not so good. But what I started to think about really was the throat. So our throat is often said to be the bridge. It literally is what holds our head on top of our heart. And it seems that in often, or most cases, our head takes the lead when our throat isn't strong enough. And really what that means is, from a yogic perspective, is that we're not listening. Our throat center is supposed to be our Vishuddha chakra, is where we listen. It's also where we communicate. And what we're communicating and what we're listening to is our heart. So we're going to see how all of this works with literally trying to get our heart above our head, but your throat, your neck, is going to be the most important part that we're going to focus on. So to that end, we're going to start with everyone's least favorite thing. We're going to start with blanket roll. So I want you to go ahead and unroll your blanket until it looks like so. And then we're going to take that fringe side and you're going to neatly and compactly roll it all the way towards the other end. And once you have that clearly established, if you have another blanket and your shins are sensitive, you can place one underneath you, but otherwise you're going to come onto your knees. And then once you're there, you're going to tuck that blanket roll pretty close up to your hip points and see if you can pull your lowest ribs up and over it and start to go forward. And if you want, block can come to support the head. If your head feels so far, yep, away from the floor. It's been a long time since we've done this. And once you've gotten into the general shape of the pose, start to bring your hands back alongside your hips. Palms will face up, shoulders will round forward. And the first thing I'd like you to start to notice is really just how much or how little you can breathe. And the task, as always, is really to try to find spaciousness. So you'll inhale and you'll exhale and you'll inhale and you'll exhale. And we'll just start to find our ability to listen. Through our practice today, our big emphasis is on really paying attention to the sensations that are coming from our body. If you think about it from an esoteric perspective, it's said that most of our insight is actually heart-driven. And our brain, our mind, our Ajna chakra is said to be the command center. It's supposed to take those messages coming from our heart and really figure out how to utilize them, how to bring them into being in the most effective way. So as you have your last 3 breath cycles here, I'd like you to notice where you can continue to open and where you can continue to soften. Ideally, you're breathing now into your back body, around your hips, around your low back, and you're allowing yourself to just sort of settle here. You've got one more deep, deep, steady breath cycle here. And at the end of your exhalation, hands will come forward. Plant the hands underneath your shoulders. Press your spine to vertical. Say sayonara to that blanket roll. Thank God. Remove the block and come to child's pose once again. Now, sans blanket roll. Those of you that are in person, I'd like you to just take a moment. And if you want to keep your practice internal, just give me a little wave so I know that you want to just have no hands-on assist today. And I will greatly respect that. And then let's all just start to bring energy into our hands. Walk your hands forward, press your hands down and forward. Draw your hips down and back and take an audible exhale out of the mouth. Great, we'll do one more like that. Big, big breath in. Big, big breath out. Yep, and last one. Big, big breath in. Big, big breath out. Close the lips, tone the back of the throat. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees. Yeah, and then exhale, you're just going to press back to that modified child's pose. So shin bones stay parallel, you just press straight back. We're going to take 4 of these. Listen very closely. Inhale, curl the spine forward into cow with your head being the last thing to come into the shape. And then as you exhale, chin comes to chest, round through the spine, press back to child's pose. So we're paying attention to what's happening in our throat first. So as you inhale and come forward, the head is the last thing to come into cow. So you round through the spine, come into hands and knees, and then unfurl the head. Yep, and then chin comes to chest, round through the spine, press back. And you've got 2 more just like this. And you're gonna now see if you can make your breath go along with it. So inhaling, coming forward, rolling through the spine, head is the last thing to come up. And then exhale, chin to chest, round through the upper spine, round through the middle spine, round through the low back, press back into that child's pose. Nice job, last set. Inhale, coming forward, head is the last thing to come into the cow shape. And exhale, chin to chest, pressing back to child's pose. When you get there, pause. Staying in this rounded shape, reach out through your fingers, hearts lift. Inhale, come up to stand on your shins, arms reach up and over your head. Yep. And then exhale, chin to chest, hinge at hips, reach forward through the fingertips, chest touch the floor first, then head touch, then finger touch. Inhale, reach out through hands, come up again, heart lifts before head. And then exhale, chin to chest, reach out through fingers, hinge through the hips, coming all the way back down. And you've got 2 more just like this. So inhale, reach out through your pinky fingers, come up, heart lifts, then head lifts. And then exhale, chin to chest, reach down through the hips, out through the fingers, coming down. Great. One more time, just for good measure. So inhale, come all the way up, and we're just strengthening the back body. And then exhale, chin to chest, hinge at hips, reach out through fingers. Nice job. From here, plant your hands on the mat. Inhale, come forward, little baby cow shape. Again, head is the last thing to unfurl into the shape. Curl the toes under, exhale, hips high, chin to chest comes first, downward facing dog. Great. Then inhale, come back to hands and knees. Head is the last thing to unfurl back into that baby cow shape. And then exhale, chin to chest first, hips high, downward facing dog. And you've got 3 more of these on your own, and you're really paying attention to how the head is working. So as you inhale, coming down to hands and knees, you're letting the head be the last thing to come up. And as you exhale to downward facing dog, chin comes to chest first before the hips lift. Great, you've got 2 more on your own. So what we're working on here is what's called Jalandhara Bandha. That's basically a Sanskrit word that means to catch. And we're trying to catch the energy so that the mind doesn't start to run away with itself. And we're starting to catch it and direct it. The next time you find yourself in downward facing dog, you're going to pause there, keeping both knees bent. Awesome sauce. Pausing here, I want you to bring your awareness to your hands, push down into the index fingers and thumbs. Lift up through your armpits and your inner elbows, and then bring your awareness to your shoulder blades. Yeah. From here, bring your attention to your neck and notice where you can find a bit of softness and ease in the neck. It might require a little bit of micro movements. And then notice if you can draw those front ribs in and back like that blanket roll is there, and then start to straighten your legs to whatever degree works for you. And you've got 2 more breath cycles here. And I want you to see if you can listen inwardly. What does the breath sound like to you? What does it feel like to you? At the end of your second exhalation, you'll gently bend the knees and come down, hands and knees. Curl the toes under all the way and start to push your bum back to your heels. Walk your hands back to your thighs and go ahead and sit up for toe squat. Once you're vertical, you'll readjust your pinky toe to make sure it's underneath you. And then we're going to reach both arms forward like happy little zombies. Your right arm comes to the outside edge of your left knee. Inhale, lengthen up, and exhale, start to rotate towards the left. Now pause here. Where is your head in relationship to your heart? How is the throat, the neck working? How can you soften any tension in your jaw as you continue to rotate the left ribs to the left, the right ribs reach around to the left? So you got 1 more breath cycle here. On your next inhalation, you'll gently close the book. So come back to center, reach both arms parallel like happy little zombies, and then we'll try the other side. So left arm outside of right leg, exhale and rotate towards the right. And again, now that you've got your tension here, see if you can press into your right and left sit bone evenly. See if you can lift up a little bit more through the ribs and rotate from the rib cage towards the right. Oh, that's a great image. Your sprinklers. Thank you, Sandy. On your next in-breath, go ahead and come back through center, both arms forward. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then exhale, we'll come forward, hands and knees, tops of the feet to the floor. Pitter patter your toes. Don't worry, we'll come back and do that a second time. Walk your knees, ankles, and shins together. Shift your weight back. As you're coming here, chin is coming towards your chest, noticing what that feels like. And then very gently, we'll come forward, hands and knees once again. Plant the palms. If you haven't already, plant both blocks at the top, upper, outer corners of your mat. And then you'll make your way to downward facing dog. And now that you're in downward facing dog this time, again, your awareness is on the throat. Where is your head in alignment with your heart? Yeah, that looks good. And you'll just take a few moments to pause and breathe and notice what you notice now. How can you hear your breath? Can you sense your breath? Can you feel your breath? Can you breathe more into the back space of the body so that there's still, length in the back body and the front body evenly? Nice work, guys. Gently exhale all the breath from your nose. And then you'll inhale, gaze between the hands. Notice what that does to your neck. Exhale, bend the knees and walk to the top of your space. Now, once you get to the top of your space, separate your feet hip distance apart, slide that block between your shin bones, and once again, pause. Lift all 10 toes up and away from the floor, spread wide through your toes, and then put them back down. Start to squeeze into the block, drop your chin towards your chest, and notice even here how you can play with where your head is. Where does it feel more in alignment with your neck? Do you need to take a rotation to the left, to the right, stay center? Great. And then very gently, if you're in movement, come to stillness. Bring your hands to the floor. Listen closely. Inhale, roll from the spine into halfway lift. So tailbone rolling you into halfway lift. Head is the last thing to enter it. And then exhale, chin to chest, fold at your hips, fold all the way back in. We've got two more just like that. So inhale, tailbone curls, heart lifts, head lifts, ears reach forward. And then exhale, chin comes into chest, fold all the way in from the hips. Got one more. So see if you can let it go from pelvis to heart to head, chin to chest, just a little. There we go. And then exhale, chin to chest, even more, fold all the way in. Nice work. Great. Now inhale, bend your knees. As you exhale, squeeze your block. And then inhale, reach your fingers forward, come into Utkatasana, chair pose. Now as we're here, notice where your head is. Do you need to tuck your chin a little? Do you need to lift the chin a little? Do you need to reach out through both hands or just one hand a little bit more? But you've got 3 breath cycles here, and you're just paying attention to where your head is in relationship to the rest of your spine. Now we're going to do this once again, well, 4 of these actually, but you're going to inhale, reach up. As you exhale, chin tucks into the nook of your neck, hinge at the hips, reach out through the fingers, fingers come to the floor, chest comes to the thighs. Inhale, slide the fingers forward, lift the back of the heart, lift the head, sit back into chair pose. Awesome sauce. Exhale, hinge at the hips, heart leads, head follows, fingers touch. Inhale, fingers lead, heart leads, head follows. Awesome sauce. 2 more. Exhale, hinging at the hips, squeezing the block. Inhale, sliding the fingers forward, keeping the knees bent, sitting back. Awesome sauce. Here's our last one. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fingers touching floor. Great. This last time, inhale, reach forward and sit back, and we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Now I want you to see if the front of the sternum can lift, the shoulder blades slide down the back, and then notice if you can lift up through the ears. There we go. And then you're just pausing and you're breathing into the back body as best as you can. You're squeezing, into that block. And you're reaching out through your happy pinky fingers. Nice job, chin to chest, just a bit. There we go. Next, inhale, stand up, reach up just a little bit. Pay attention to what's happening in the neck. And then exhale, lower the arms, lift the collarbones. Awesome sauce. Pause here. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Bring your awareness to your collarbones. Inhale, collarbones lift. Exhale, chin draws into the nook of the neck to reach up through your ears as though someone was pulling your elfin ears up. So it's not like a big dip, it's just a tiny dip. There we go. And then it's almost like you could push your head straight back into an imaginary wall. Nice job. Great. Gently go ahead and open the eyes if the eyes are closed. Remove that block and make sure both blocks stay at the top outer corners of your space. Bring your hands to your hips, float your right leg up, flexing through your right toes. Great. Now from here, we're going to see if we can still keep breathing and see if we can still keep lifting up. And on your next exhale, that right leg is going to step back to a low lunge. Great. From there, spin the foot down for warrior one and see if we can keep that front knee bent just as it is. Awesome. Now adjust your hips so it feels like you've got shoulders at least going as far forward as possible. Press onto the knife edge of that back foot, and then bring your left hand to the back of your left hip. From here, inhale, reach your right arm forward. Reach it up and overhead. As you exhale, straighten that front leg long, draw the outer right hip forward. Great. Inhale, reach up through that right arm even more. As you exhale, reach forward, out and down, hinging at the hips, neck or chin is tucking in towards your chest the whole way. Awesome sauce. From here, inhale, reach out through the right fingers, come all the way back up, heart lifts, head is to follow. Yep. And then exhale, reach forward and out. And you got 3 more of those. Keep a slight bend in that front knee, hugging both feet together. Yeah. And as you're coming up, you're just seeing if the head can follow. Yeah, nice job. For these last 2, let's see if you can make it a 6 count exhalation all the way down. 6 counts all the way down. Nice job. And then you'll inhale whatever rate feels good to you. Yep, and we're taxing those back muscles. And then exhale last time, 6 counts all the way down, hugging those feet together, slight micro bend in the front leg. Nice job. Go ahead and stay there for 2 breath cycles. Maybe you lower the left hand to the floor, maybe you don't, but keep hugging your outer left hip back, pressing down into the right pinky toe and just breathing here. Hello, happy hamstrings, Julie. I hope you're breathing. If you release that left hand to the floor, bring it back to the low back, and then inhale, sweep forward through the right fingertips, coming all the way back up to stand. As you exhale, release that right hand, step to the top of your space, Tadasana, pause, soften the gaze, close the eyes. Notice what you notice between the right side, notice what you notice between the left side. Our ability to communicate our truth really requires that we stop, that we listen, that we take the time to notice what we notice, and then have the courage to communicate what we notice. Our head, or my head at least, gets involved when I can't trust what I'm feeling, what I'm sensing, what I'm experiencing, and so decide to intellectualize my way out of that. That doesn't always work out so well. Bring your hands to your hips, open the eyes. If they're closed, transfer the weight to the right foot, float your left leg up, making that leg super active, toes curling up to that kneecap, lifting up through heart, softening through face. As you exhale, step that foot back to a low lunge, then spin that foot down for Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1 prep. And then you adjust as you need to in order to find the ability to square shoulders towards the top of the space, and maybe the hips come as well. From here, right hand comes to the back of the pelvis, and then you'll inhale, sweep up through that left arm. As you exhale, straighten that front leg long. Keep a micro bend in that front knee if you're hypermobile, and then inhale, reach up, and then exhale, chin to chest, hinge at hips, come all the way down. And you got 4 of these. And so as you inhale, it's the fingers that lead, the heart that follows, the head that follows. And then as you exhale, it's the hips, then the heart, then the head, then the fingers. Nice job. All right. And then you come up on your own. And for these last 2, see if you can make it a 6 count exhalation, softening the exhale, slowing it down so that we can slow the mind down. Keep hugging those legs together as you do this. Awesome sauce. And here's our last one. Can you hear your breath? Can you sense your breath? Can you feel your breath? Once you're down there, you stay for 2 breath cycles. Maybe the right hand releases to the floor. Maybe you notice if you can draw that outer right hip back even more as you press into your left pinky toe and hug those feet together for dear life. And then notice the relationship of your head here. What is your neck doing? Can you soften any tension here? Little turtles out of our shells. Bring that right hand back to the low back if you released it to the floor. And then inhale, reach out through the left fingers, come all the way back up to stand. Awesome sauce. Exhale, release the hand, step to the top of your space, soften or close the gaze, and just notice what you notice. Can the heart stay open? Is the head stacked over the ears? The shoulders over the hips? Hips over the feet? Great. If the eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. And then from here, let's go ahead and bring our hands back to our hips. Transfer the weight to the left leg once again. Lift up through that right leg, and you're going to bend the left leg a lot, cross the leg over. Maybe you just tap the toes to the floor. Maybe they tap behind the back. We're going to reach the arms out and then give yourself a hug, right arm underneath, left arm on top. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you double wrap the arms. Option is stay right here. Otherwise, you're going to empty the belly like the blanket roll was there. Draw the chin towards the chest and start to hinge at the hips. Maybe tucking elbows outside of your knees. You're hugging your knees together. You're breathing. You're noticing and sensing and listening to the inner world. And you've got one more breath cycle here and you're just observing. Where's the breath? Where's the body? Where is my mind? Next in breath, sit back, lean back. Garudasana. As you exhale, unwind the arms like Karate Kid. Unwind the left leg like right leg like Karate Kid. Nice job. And then release everything to the floor. That was a good image. And we'll just sit and we'll switch sides. So transfer all the weight into the right leg. Hands come back to your hips. Costume change. Shift your left leg up. Bend the right knee quite a bit. Cross the leg over and maybe the toes tap the floor. Maybe they wrap behind the back of your right calf. Arms will then open out and exhale, left arm underneath, right arm on top. Happy little hug. Or maybe you double wrap the arms. Option is stay right here. Otherwise, chin draws in towards the throat, belly hollows like that blanket roll is there, and you start to hinge at your hips. And you're just pausing and you're breathing and you're noticing what you notice. How can the neck remain long here? Most of us will require the chin to come into the chest just a smidge. And you're just pausing and you're breathing, and wobbles are perfectly okay. When you're ready, you'll take an inhale, you'll lean back, you'll sit back for Garudasana, eagle pose. As you exhale, unwind the arms, unwind the left leg back to that Karate Kid pose. And then exhale, release the foot, release the arms, close your eyes and notice what you notice. Where is the breath? Where is the mind? Where is the head? Can your gaze stay parallel, horizontal to the horizon? Nice job. All right, listen very closely. Inhale, reach your arms out and up and overhead. As you exhale, chin draws into the nook of the neck, hinge at the hips, fingers reach forward, come down to a forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need to. Nice job. Inhale, spine unfurls, the head to halfway lift. Nice. Exhale, chin draws into chest, fold forward, plant your palms and step back, Phalangasana, plank pose. Awesome sauce. Now, once we're here, let's press down through our hands so much that our inner armpits lift up. Lengthen your inner thighs back, and then the focus of the day is on the head. Where is your head? Where is your neck? Imagine that somebody is pulling on your little elephant ears and they're reaching them forward. Nice job. Next in breath, shift your weight forward. As you exhale, lower in one piece, heart and head, or heart follows, or head leads. Oh, shit. Wow, man. Too many words. Okay. From here, slide your hands back just a smidge, and you're going to take the smallest baby cobra of your life. Press down into the tips of the toes. Sternum reaches forward. Tailbone lengthens back. Little baby cobra, just an upper spine. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Curl the toes under. Draw your chin in towards your chest, and inhale, come up through hands and knees or plank, your choice. And bend the knees, downward facing dog. Great. Listen very closely. We're not going to do any back bends until we get to the very end of our practice. We're trying to emphasize one particular energetic thing here. So we're going to see if we can focus on that. While you're here, notice where your head is in relationship to your shoulders, where your head is in relationship to your heart. Great. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Nice job. Inhale here, breathe into the collarbones and the shoulders and the armpits. And as you exhale, right leg comes forward, low lunge. Just step it right through. Spin the left foot down and inhale, come up for Virabhadrasana 1. So we've already been here. Yep. And we're going to pause. Find your breath. Inhale, stand up, reach up, look up, straighten that front leg. And then exhale, hinge at the hips. Parvottanasana, pyramid pose, chin to chest, coming all the way down. Nice job. Inhale, bend that front knee, low lunge, pivot to the ball of your back foot. Exhale, step back, plank pose, 3 breaths. So we're taking out the chaturangas here, but you're going to just pause and you're going to breathe and you're going to notice where your head is. Nice job. You're doing great. Press into the index finger knuckle mound even more if you can. Yep. As you exhale, bend your knees, chin to chest, downward facing dog. Take 1 big breath in. Take a big breath out. Nice job. 1 more inhalation, breathe into collarbones. Exhale, step that left foot forward, low lunge. Spin the right foot down. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana 1. Once you're there, exhale, stay here, stabilize yourself, squeeze your legs together. Inhale, straighten that front leg, reach up through your pinky fingers, and then exhale, micro bend in the front knee, hinge at the hips, fingers reach forward, out and down. Nice job. Inhale, bend that front knee, shift your weight forward, low lunge, pivot to the ball of your back foot. And exhale, step back, Fallenkasana, plank pose, 3 breath cycles. So this is the pattern we're going to do. We're going to do that whole thing that you just did 2 more times. You're going to follow your breath. At the end of your 3rd exhalation, chin to chest, bend your knees, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in here. Take a big breath out here. On your next inhalation, inflate the ribs, inflate the collarbones, and then when you're ready, your exhale, step that right leg forward and through. When you need to, spin the back foot down, inhale, come up, warrior 1. So you're going to follow your breath pace. You exhale, you stay in warrior 1. You inhale, you straighten that front leg long. You exhale, hinging at the hips, reaching through the fingers, chin draws into chest to allow the back body to straighten. Then the inhale draws you to a low lunge, bending the front knee, pivoting to the ball of the back foot. And exhale steps you back to plank pose, 3 breath cycles. And you're just pausing and you're breathing. Laura, lift the back of your head for me just a smidge. Yep. Erica, press down into the index finger of that left hand even more so the left armpit lifts up just a bit. The end of your 3rd exhalation, downward facing dog, chin to chest. So we're paying attention to what the head is doing. Often the head leads, but we're going to see if the neck can work. And then you take a big breath in there and you take a big breath out. Inhale, inflate the armpits, and then the exhale steps that left foot forward. Inhale draws you up to Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. You exhale and you stay in your warrior 1. Inhale, straightens your front leg. And you exhale, hinging at the hips, reaching forward, out, and down. When you need to, you'll inhale and come forward into a low lunge. And then you'll exhale and step back, plank pose, 3 breath cycles. Happy to stay here or do a little push-up if that feels good to you, but you want to keep the heart leading the way, head following. Yes. And after 3 breath cycles, you go back to downward facing dog. And you'll just pause there. This last set is completely on your own. So you've got the pattern. You'll just take it when you're ready, following your breath pace. And again, you're seeing how slow and long you can make the breath. So you'll take that right leg through. You'll come to your warrior 1 and you'll do the whole set both sides. So you just follow your breath pace. When you're ready, coming into warrior one, then into that pyramid pose. Then back to the low lunge, back to the plank, back to the down dog. And it's been a while since we've done any type of thing where you get free reign to do you at your pace. And I want you to just notice what that feels like. Our heads lead the way so often, I think, because we assume that we have to do things in a particular way in order to be liked, to be loved, to be appreciated, to be respected. But what the teachings seem to suggest, at least from an energetic perspective, is that the best way for us to be of service to not only ourselves, but to others and life in general, is really if we're connected to those messages that we're receiving from our heart, so that we can genuinely show up and show a sense of excitement and enthusiasm about the things that we're doing, versus a sense of obligation or dread or God knows what. And so after you've completed your second set with your left side, you'll meet back in downward facing dog. From that downward facing dog, we'll take a moment to pause in child's pose if you need it. Child's pose is always your friend. You'll just take a moment to pause there. You'll take a moment to breathe there. And again, the hands might sweep back behind you and you just pause and you breathe and you notice what you notice. What are you sensing? What are you feeling? Where is your head? Where is your neck? Nice job. All right. From child's pose, let's go ahead and make our way back to downward facing dog. And then you'll just pause and you'll breathe here. Let's go ahead and widen our feet, at least as wide as our mat. Some of you may choose to widen your feet even wider than that, and you'll bend your knees a lot like a football player in a weird position for some God unknown reason. And then just breathe here. You're pushing your hands down and forward. You're lifting your hips up and back. And some of you will walk your hands back towards your feet. And you'll pause and you'll breathe there and you'll say, hello, neck. What is your head doing? Yep. And then some of you will walk your hands back even further. And then we'll gradually start to walk our hands all the way back. But you're doing this listening to your own pace. Some of you may find that once you get to the back of your space, you want to walk your feet even further apart so they're even now off of your mat, perhaps from right to left. You might then bend just one knee and then the other. And again, the head, notice what's happening to the head. So in this orientation to gravity, our head leads the way when it feels like the back of our neck squinches up and becomes contracted. Can we allow our head to follow the lead of the heart? The heart is curling in, it's rounding in. Can the head follow? Awesome sauce. Once you feel like you've gotten all your wiggles out from right to left, you'll go ahead and come back to center. Come back to stillness and just notice what you notice there. From here, let's reverse engineer what we just did. So you'll start to plant your hands and crawl yourself forward into that wide-legged downward facing dog. And then you'll start to walk your feet back to a normal downward facing dog. And you'll just see what that feels like. And then we're going to add on. All right. Inhale here. As you exhale, right knee comes forward. Step your right foot between your hands. Spin your back foot to the floor and come up for warrior one. Awesome sauce. Pause here. First things first, push down with that right foot a lot. Hug your feet together and see if you can draw the outer left shoulder forward. Lift the chin parallel-ish to the floor. Next, exhale, hinge at the hips to about a 45-degree angle. You're reaching out for your pinky fingers like you're karate chopping through ice. Nice job. Notice what the head is doing. Notice where the neck is. As you exhale, shift your weight forward so you come onto the ball of your back foot. Reach your fingertips forward. Come forward into Virabhadrasana 3. Sweep your arms back if this is too much, having your arms above your head. Now flex through that back foot, square your hips to the floor and pause. Awesome sauce. You got one more breath cycle here. Where's your head in alignment to your heart? Next, exhale, hands come down to the floor. Square your hips even more. Hands might come to blocks. Look back at that left foot. Make sure it is pointing straight down. And then bend that right knee as much as you can. See if you're breathing. Lift that outer and inner left thigh. Inhale, bend the left heel, drawing the left heel closer to your butt, or left knee, there you go. And exhale, kick it back, pushing out through the big toe mound. You got 3 of those. Inhale, bend the knee, hamstring curl, hello. Exhale, kick the foot back. Yep, I know. Inhale here. Exhale, kick it back. Awesome. Keeping that leg straight. Find more length through your spine. Draw your chin slightly towards your chest, and then exhale from the hips. Lift the left leg. Melt your heart towards your right knee. Bend that right knee as much as you need to. Here's our inversion. We're paying attention to our breath. Lift up through that inner right thigh. Left thigh. Flex through that left foot. On your next in-breath, bend your knee. I know, I'm sorry, Roberta. Exhale, step the left foot back. Low lunge. Step back into plank pose. And 3 breaths. Erica, we are appreciating you all so much right now. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. When you're ready, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Now, in the quietude of this moment, where can you notice what you notice? How are the sensations? How is the breath? How is the energy of your body? Nice job. Adding on. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Spin the right foot down and come up for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Now we know what's coming up, but don't let your head get in the way of this. Listen to the sensations of the body. You've got this. Squeeze the feet together. Push down into the feet. Reach up through your pinkies, which are an extension of the heart. On your next exhale, hinge at the hips. So the arms are an extension of your heart. Let them help you. Inhale here. Next exhale, reach out and forward, coming into warrior 3. So the arms are at that 45-degree angle, lifting that back foot, coming to the ball of the back foot first if you need to. Yep. And you just got 3 breath cycles here. That left knee bends as much as it needs to. The shakings, the wobbling, the heavy breath, that's okay. It's hard to do the things of our heart. At the end of the exhale, hands come to the floor or blocks. Look down on your body and see if that right leg is still parallel to the floor. And then when you're ready, you'll inhale, bend the right knee, hug the heel towards your bum. And then exhale, kick that foot away, pressing out through your big toe mound, lifting through that inner right thigh even more. Hello, hamstrings. Inhale, bend in. And exhale, kick back. Yep. Inhale, bend in. You're good. Exhale, kick back. After you've done 3, you'll just pause there in that shape. Start to lift your right thigh. Lower your chest towards your left shin. Chin draws into chest, and pay attention to the alignment of your neck and head here. Deep breaths. And then very gently, hands come to the floor, bend that knee, step the right foot back, step the left foot back. Plank pose, 3 breaths. After you've done your 3 breaths, you can rest in child's pose or go and rest in downward facing dog, your choice, but you're paying attention to where the head is. You're paying attention to where the neck is. Awesome sauce. After your 3 breaths, either downward facing dog or child's pose. Pause and breathe. Pause and breathe. Great. Awesome sauce. Okay. So my friends that are in down dog, you'll make your way to hands and knees. People that are in child's pose, you'll make your way to hands and knees. And we're going to do toe squat round 2. I know, if only, like, wow, this is already intense and you're going to make us do this again. Yes, we are. Okay, so you're going to curl both toes under. You're going to walk up. And zombie arms come forward again. This time we're going to do a little something different. So both arms are going to go up. This is prep for the next thing. So inhale, reach up. As you exhale, right arm comes forward, touches the outside edge of left knee. Left arm swims back. And you just got 3 breath cycles here. I encourage you to close the gut, close the eyes or soften the gaze, and see if this rotation can happen from the low belly, through the low ribs, through the heart, then out through the shoulders, and then finally through the neck, and finally through the head. So letting this lead from the gut, the viscera, and then leading through the heart, leading through the head. Nice job. Next in breath, you'll gently unwind. So you'll just come with both arms up and overhead, come back through center, and then we'll exhale and go the other way. So the left arm trails forward to the outer right knee, the right arm reaches back, and you're just pausing and you're breathing. Notice how the weight is on your sit bones. Are both sit bones pushing into your heels evenly? Is it one more than the other? Can you soften that right shoulder away from the ear just a bit? Yep. And then on your next in breath, come back to center, both arms high, happy days. Exhale, hands come forward, tops of the feet to the floor, pitter patter your toes, happy little temper tantrum. And then shift your weight back, stretching tops of shins, fronts of ankles if you'd like. And again, you're paying attention to where's the breath, how's the breath. This is a lot more intense than what we've done in a while, and that's okay. Okay, and then when you're ready, we'll come back to downward facing dog. Final third tamale of our little sequence. Down dog, yep. And when you're in down dog, again, the focus is on how is the neck in relationship to the heart? How are the hands? How is the breath? Okay. All right. Inhale here. As you exhale, step your right foot forward and through. Spin the back foot down for warrior one, and inhale, come back up to Virabhadrasana 1. Awesome sauce. Now pause here. Press down into the knife edge of that back foot. See if you can reach up through the pinky fingers to lift the ribs. And as you exhale, straighten your front leg long. Awesome sauce. Take a big breath in, and just as we did before, as you exhale, the left arm is going to reach forward, the right arm is going to reach back, and you're going to come into revolved triangle pose. See if you can coordinate all of that happening together. Fingers might need to come to blocks or floor inside. Oh, buddy people, good job of that right leg. This sounds super weird. I want you to claw your left hand, reach your heart forward, and then think of the heart reaching towards the right. The chin draws in towards the chest, and you'll find this crazy opening across the back body where this becomes more of a heart opener than you would normally think. Yeah. Slight bend in front knee if that's a little hypermobile. Yep, and we're finding more length on that left side. Yeah. Next, exhale, swim the right hand down to your right butt cheek. Come into pyramid pose, soften the chin towards the throat. Notice how this feels. Hands might be on blocks, hands might be on floor. And then when you're ready, inhale, bend that front knee, shift yourself to a low lunge, and then step back, downward facing dog, and pause. 3 steady, steady, steady breaths. And then you're just pausing and you're breathing and you're noticing what you notice. How did that triangle work out for you? Great. Then we'll try the other side. Inhale here. Exhale, left foot steps forward, low lunge. Spin the right foot down for warrior 1. And then inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana 1. And then just as we did before, find your foundation. Press into the knife edge of that back foot. Soften the back toes if you can. And then inhale, reach up. As you exhale, straighten that front leg long. Inhale, find more length through the fingers, and then exhale, start to twist towards the left. Left arm reaches out and back, right arm reaches down and forward, and you'll find yourself into revolved Trikonasana, Pavrita Trikonasana. And then again, we're gonna find, can we press onto the knife edge of that back foot? Can we claw our right hand back to draw the heart forward, and then it allows the ribs to rotate. And then notice, where's your head? Where is that chin? Letting the heart lead the way into this, and you'll find a crazy sense of sensation happening here. If the heart can be the extensor. Oh yeah. Okay, Sandy. On your next exhale, swim that left arm back, frame the front foot. Pause here for a few breath cycles here, adjusting as need be in Parvottanasana, pyramid pose. And then as you're ready, inhale, bend that front knee, come forward into a low lunge. Exhale, either back to plank pose and pause, or you'll go to down dog and pause. And then we'll all meet in child's pose after 3 breaths, wherever the heck you happened to go. Child's pose. And this child's pose, swim your arms back behind you, please. Palms face up. So this is the very shape we started in. Where is your head now? How do you need to adjust it? How does the neck feel? How does the breath feel? What are you observing? Great. You got 2 more breath cycles here, and you're just paying attention. What sensations are you observing in the body? Great. Very gently, the hands will come forward underneath the shoulders. You'll push down to the floor to roll the spine up to sit, head being the last thing to come up. Take a momentary pause there, just seeing heart, neck, head, how do those feel? And then my people in front of me, you'll come forward and lie down on your back so your heads are facing the top of the space. For those at home, you choose to get to your back however works for you. And then you're just going to pause when you're on your back and say, hello, body. What does that feel like? I encourage you to make sure that when you are on your back, your blocks are somewhere easily accessible to your hands. So people in person, you're good. And then we'll go ahead and gently bend our knees, plant our feet firmly on the floor. Awesome sauce. Bring your hands alongside your hips. Awesome sauce. And then we're going to take 4 of these little dynamic bridges. So you'll inhale, push through the feet, push through or lift the hips, lift the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, hands and hips come back to that starting point. And you've got 4 of these. So inhale, push down, lift up, arms up and overhead. And then exhale, lower down. As you take these next 2 on your own, notice if the hands touch the floor at the same time, both on the ascent as well as on the descent. It's just an internal awareness. Notice if both hip bones touch at the same time. Inhale to come up, exhale to come down. Great. And the next time your hands are down alongside your hips, you'll pause. Go ahead and walk the shoulders underneath you. Inhale, push down through the feet, push down through the arms, lift the hips. Once the hips are high, you might walk the shoulder blades even closer underneath you. You may choose to grab the outer edges of your mat. You may choose to interlace your hands. You may choose to just push down into the floor. Our focus of today is, well, on a few things. So I want you to bring your awareness to C7. C7's at the back of the spine. It feels like it's almost at the tops of your shoulder blades. That spot lifts up. That spot lifts your heart up. At the same time, I want you to push down into the center of your skull. So we're really paying attention to what's happening in our throat, neck space. Ideally, there's not too much bulging in the front of the neck because the neck's in a good spot. And then I want you to push down through your upper arm bones if you can, push down into the forearms if you can, push down into your feet if you can. Imagine that you have a block between your inner thighs, hug that in, press those big toes down, and you've got 3 more breath cycles here. And you're noticing what the sensations are now. So most of the things that we've been doing up to this point felt very, I don't know, calming. It's called a Lagana effect. Lagana is the official Sanskrit word for it, which is kind of calming, soothing, sedating quality to it. And this has more of a Brahmana, which is an enlivening effect. And so you're just noticing how those 2 energies are starting to work in your body, in your being. At the end of your next exhalation, those that have hands clasped, you'll unclasp your hands, you'll untuck your shoulders, you'll slowly bring your pelvis back down to the floor and pause. Let those energies meet. Just be still if you can and just notice what you notice. What is your energetic state? How does the body feel? How does the mind feel? Great. All right. So if you can, grab one of your blocks. You're going to lift your hips, slide one of those blocks underneath your sacrum at whatever height works best for you. And we want to make sure that it's underneath that shelf part of your pelvis. So it's really the bony part, so it feels good. So when I ask you to do this next thing, you won't be wobbly. You'll lift your right leg up and you'll lift your left leg up. And I want you to press out through the big toe mounds of your feet. Oh, you're good. Barbie flointed feet, pushing out through big toe mounds though, curling down through pinky toes, hugging those outer hips in. And now as we're here, I want you to bring your awareness to your breath. So you'll inhale, breathe into the throat, into the collarbones, into the ribs, down to the belly, down into the pelvis. And as you exhale, you can exhale from the pelvis all the way back up. And you can let this be audible if you want. We're just doing what's called a Kriya. It's an energizing technique. So you're inhaling from the top of the torso to the bottom of the torso. You're exhaling from the bottom of the torso back up. And we're just starting to cleanse, send the energy, see what it's doing. And you've got about 4 more breath cycles here. And so you're just pausing and you're breathing. Those legs are active. The breath is full. And you're noticing where your neck is here. What is the orientation to gravity? What is the orientation to space? Let's take 2 more breath cycles here. And at the end of your next exhalation, you'll gently bend the right knee, planting it on the floor. Then gently bend the left knee, planting it on the floor. Pause here for a moment. Gather this strength in the legs first. Push down into the feet, lift the pelvis, and then remove the block. Bring the pelvis back down and pause. Back down and pause. Extend your right leg long, extend your left leg long, and just see how the body feels. Great. Last little thing for our neck. Extend your right arm over your head. Roll over onto your right side. Make your way onto your abdomen. Bring your hands to your sacrum. Hands to your sacrum. Let your palms face up, stacking the hands right on top of each other. Press down into your big toe mounds and your pinky toe mounds. Lift your legs. And then as you inhale, pressing down into the toes, reach your heart and sternum forward, lift your shoulders, lift your head, let the head follow the lift of the shoulders. Yeah! And then exhale, lower down. You got 2 more of those. So inhale, sternum reaches forward. That lifts the shoulders, that lifts the neck. Nice necks, guys. And then exhale, lower all the way down. 1 more, just like that. Inhale, coming up. Exhale down. Great, we've got a few more sets. So this time you might lift your right leg up as you inhale and come up. And you'll exhale and lower down. And then this time you might lift your left leg up. And exhale, lower down. And 1 more time each side. Inhale, lifting right leg up. Maybe head lifts a little higher. And then exhale down. And the head lifts only because the chest lifts. And then inhale, coming up with the left leg. And exhale down. Great. Release your hands. Bring an ear to the mat and pause. Notice how your neck feels here. Notice the sense of your heart pressing into the ribs pushing into the floor, the belly pushing into the floor. What does it sound like in the inner landscape of your being? Switch opposite ear to the mat. And the question that we'll pose here for each of us to consider as we go through our Shavasana is, what is it that you are needing to hear? What is the guidance that you're needing? And how is your head trying to circumnavigate what your heart might be telling you? Okay, when you're ready, you'll slowly make your way back onto your back. So just flipping over like happy little pancakes. To make sure our backs are okay, I encourage you to bend both knees, plant your feet on the floor. Widen the feet a little wider than your hips. Widen your arms a little wider than your hips. And then let the knees just windshield wiper one way and the other. And again, you're just moving very slowly. Very slowly right and very slowly left. In order to be really efficient, it helps if we know where we're going and why we're going there. One of the things I still marvel at is in being a dancer, you have to, when the choreographer says you have to move really fast, everything has to be slow internally. In order to make the body move really quickly, you have to quiet the mind. The mind's not quiet, the movement becomes disorganized. I think that applies to so many other facets of life. In order for us to move quickly through all the things that are required of us, we have to have a quiet mind, and the mind has to be listening to the impulses, the impetus of the heart. So once you've done a few of those and you feel balanced between the sides, you'll come to stillness. Then bring one knee into the chest, bring the other knee into the chest. Swim your hands through the inner edges of the thighs, grab the outer edges of the feet, press the soles of the feet towards each other first to widen the knees far apart. Notice how that lets your sacrum be super heavy. Notice what's happening in your shoulders and your neck. Yeah. And then from here, soles of the feet can reach up to the floor, knees can drive down towards the floor. Happy baby. 3 to 5 breaths here. And again, your awareness is, where is your throat? Where is your neck? How is that feeling? Great. Once you feel complete, being happy little babies, maybe rolling or maybe not, the last pose I would encourage you to take is Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees open and splayed like a book. You can use those blocks to help support. You might also bring that blanket on top of the pelvis to act as weight or to act as a blanket. And then for today, I would like you to see if you can let the arms hang off the body out to the right and to the left. And I want you to notice where you need to adjust the arms so that the shoulders really feel like they melt into the floor, so that the heart feels like it's supported by the strength of the shoulder blades, and that your head feels just like it's in its place. It's in alignment with the heart. One of the things that I have been noticing for myself is that a lot of times, people will give you, well, maybe not you, but me specifically, my ex used to tell me all the time, just relax, Jessica, just relax. And I don't know about you, but when somebody tells me to relax, it just doesn't really help. So what that often is a matter of my mind cannot tell me to relax, but my heart can. My mind cannot tell me that something is the right thing or the wrong thing, but my heart can. I was listening to Glennon Doyle yesterday, and she was talking about bravery. And she says that bravery is doing what makes sense from the heart. It might not make sense from the head. You might be scared to do what you're called to do, but it's really honoring and listening to that impulse. And so as we're here for the next few moments in your final resting pose, I'd like you to just take a body scan. And the idea is just to notice where every bit of your being is, not to tell it to do anything, but to just notice where it is. So you'll start from the crown of your head and you'll work down through the scalp. You'll work across the forehead, down the outer edges of the skull near the ears, over the eyebrows and the eyelids, across the bridge of the nose, the cheeks, the upper, the lower lip, the chin, the throat, across the chest, the shoulder blades, the elbows, the ribs, the forearms, the waist, the wrists, the palms, the hips, the pelvis, going through the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, the soles of the feet, and the toes. And after you've made your way from the crown of the head all the way down, you may choose to take another pass and see what has changed since the first pass. And again, you're not attempting to direct the body to be any other way than it is. You're just listening to what is present. If you choose, you'll take one more pass from the skull all the way down. And after your third pass, allow your awareness to rest wherever it feels called to rest, whatever sensations are most alive and alert for you. And once you found that anchoring spot, you're just watch. The mind is quiet and just watches and listens to what the body is telling it. Gently return your awareness and just notice what you notice. If there's any part of you that's longing to linger here for just a few more moments, a few more breaths, by all means, please hang out here. If movement and or life is starting to call you, Very slowly invite small movement back into your body. And today we'll start by just pushing into the back of your head lightly and gently rocking the head slowly from right to left as though you're rolling a marble in your skull. When you feel balanced between the two sides, you'll allow movement to still in the head and then maybe enter the fingertips, the wrists. If you're still in Supta Baddha Konasana, close your knees together like a book. Extend the legs long and maybe reach the arms up and over your head. And again, you're paying attention to how the head feels, the neck feels, in connection to the heart, how the throat is working to bridge those two spaces. Gently, you'll make your way to your right side and you'll pause there for a few breaths. From there, let the head be the last thing to come to vertical as you draw yourself to a tall, comfortable seat. And then take the opportunity to sit tall and to sit well. And for those of you that have earbuds in, you might need to take them out after I give the instructions for this next thing. But I thought we would end with Brahmari breath. And Brahmari is just a humming thing. So you just inhale and then you exhale. And you do it however the hell you want. But you close your ears. So those of you that have earbuds need to take them out, but you'll plug your ears, you close your eyes, and you're just feeling the vibration in your heart. Okay, and so we'll do about 5 of those. You can go whatever pitch you want, high or low, but you're really just trying to reverberate the heart space that this starts to clear up. So those with earbuds, you might want to take them out now. When you're ready, you'll plug your ears. You'll take a big breath in, and then you'll exhale and hum. And you just do 5 of them. After your 5th one, just lower your arms. Keep the eyes soft or closed, and feel that vibration in the heart. Feel that vibration in the throat. Notice where your head is in relationship to your heart. We'll end today by bringing our right hand to the heart space. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the weight of your hand. Stack your left hand on top of the heart, on top of the right. A lot of yoga teachers say that our minds make a terrible master, but an excellent servant. And what they mean by that is when we get too much in our head, we start going down paths that aren't necessarily right for us. But if we can listen to our heart and we've got this clear channel through the throat, our mind can bring into fruition all the things that our heart desires. So as you're here for these last few breath cycles, just feel your heart. Maybe set the intention that we said a little earlier about what is it that you want to call in to being from this spot below the hands. And how can we trust that the mind can just back off just a bit, follow the heart's lead. All right, go ahead and bring your hands to heart center Anjali Mudra. Press the palms into each other. Lift the sternum into the thumbs and soften the chin down towards the nook of your neck. Gently exhale all the breath from your mouth. Take a big breath in. Audible breath out. Inhale for Om. Join if you'd like. Om. Draw your thumbs to your third eye. May our thoughts be clear. Draw your thumbs to your throat. May our words be kind. And draw your thumbs to your heart center. May our hearts be open. The light within me honors and salutes the light within you. Namaste.